Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name's Amber and I'm here to talk about my results and things I learned, things I liked, didn't like, all that about the 7-day hormone reset. So if you missed last week's video, go check it out. I explained more about the hormone reset. I have PCOS. I have been diagnosed with insulin resistance in the past. I still have it. Like with my body shape and stuff, there's no way I magically got rid of it. So I'm insulin resistant, which is a big part of why I'm doing this, because if your insulin is out of whack, good luck. I got some blood work back recently with my triglycerides and lipids test, and somehow my cholesterol and bad cholesterol went up and from last year, and their solution was for me to lose weight. I lost 35 pounds whilst my triglycerides and stuff was going up. So why you think weight loss would be the factor, I'm not really sure, because I was losing weight when they went up. So medical community, you want to explain that to me, of why you think then saying weight loss is what you should do. Anyway, I digress. Found out from this other actual smart doctor, like interviews and stuff I've been watching with him. He is like a metabolic researcher, really focusing on this insulin resistance, that, hey, did you know that insulin resistance can be the reason why your cholesterol is going up, even though you've been eating healthy? Yeah, because apparently the insulin dictates to the liver what kind of fats it produces. So that can be a key factor in insulin resistance, which is also your heart rate. My heart rate has been going up. I've been working out and all these things. I've been doing all the things they say to lower your heart rate and lower your triglycerides and all that stuff while it's going up. So insulin resistance, big factor in my body and what the heck's going on with it, and why I've been seeming to be on this 5-month rut where I have not lost any weight for 5 months, even though I've been consistently working out and eating healthy. So because of those kind of reasons, I really wanted to do this hormone reset, and it's just I'm gonna go hardcore the first 7 days. I will link below the 7-day reset that I did. It's free, but because it's free, all of the meals are the same. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, it's the exact same. Your breakfast every day, the same. Lunch every day, the same. Not a fan of eating the same thing every day. And I want to be very clear. If by day 2, you are realizing the cabbage is not sitting well within your gut like me, please do not wait till day 5 to take the cabbage out. Okay, because you are gonna smell toxic, okay? Forget about the detoxing you need to do. People are gonna need a detox from your smell. Trust me, it was a bad day 3 and 4, real bad. Apparently there are people who can't handle a lot of cabbage. I've never had a problem handling cabbage in the past because I've only ever eaten it in smaller amounts. But apparently 6.5 ounces every day, not an amount my stomach can handle. So there is a food list she provides. Substitute the cabbage for literally anything else on the vegetable list if you're having problems with the cabbage. It tasted good, so I kept eating it. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. Where was I? So I did not like eating the exact same thing every day. That was a con for sure. But the pro to that was I did not have to think about what I was eating every single day. It was, this is what I'm having, go make it or warm it up. Boom, you're done. That also made the dishes a lot less because I was barely doing anything throughout the week, which I like that. So I want to take some of those things into the future with me as I continue. A couple other things I noticed: caffeine. I'm 2 weeks off of it now, doing great. I'm sure some of it has to do with regulating my insulin because it's also a really low carb, high fat diet that I've been on the last week. So I'm sure that has something to do with it as well, where you're not constantly having these ups and downs of your glucose and insulin, just wreaking havoc. But taking out the caffeine as well, other than the first week where I had a headache, I have felt so much better. I have a stable energy all day long. I've never had a stable energy all day long. I can't even remember back from being a teenager having stable energy all day long. So that has been a huge perk to going caffeine free for me. Do I think that's necessary for everybody? No, I do not. I think my husband does perfectly fine on caffeine. I don't see a reason why he should give it up. Me, it wasn't playing nice, so give it up. This is all based on like your own body. We all have to listen to our own bodies and find out what our own bodies need. So this is just me trying to take care of my body the best way I possibly can. I've also learned that I have not given nearly enough attention to my gut health. I think just as an adult, like as long as you don't get constipated and you're going to the bathroom regularly, we assume our gut health is fine. But I think if we might be really surprised just doing the prebiotic and making sure I have enough fiber, I already feel better in my gut health. And like, it's just starting. So it's only going to get better over the next few months as these bacteria really grow and I can, nourish them and build a really happy bacteria colony in my gut and just see what that can do for me. I think we're really neglecting our gut health. Most people, we could probably just take a prebiotic and a probiotic for like a month and then see how you feel, see if you feel better, because chances are you might feel better. So full disclosure, I did 6 days of eating the same stuff. Minus day 5, I think I took out the cabbage and replaced it with more carrots, which was way better for my gut. And my results, I lost 2.6 pounds for the 1 week. And then I took my measurement in my waist, which is like the smallest part of my torso. And then I took the measurement at my belly button and I lost 1/2 inch in each. Not total, in each. So an inch total. 1 week. 1 freaking week. The realization, and which is why I've been doing so much research on all this insulin resistance stuff, is like how much this insulin resistance is impacting my health, my well-being, so much. Because just by going low carb, high fat, I made that kind of progress in 1 freaking week. Y'all, I wasn't eating low calorie. Like this detox isn't about eating low calories. It's about eating the right kinds of food and avoiding the wrong kinds of food. Like that was it. And that was shocking. So like the realization moving forward of how important following this moderate protein, high fat, low carb diet will be. This is not keto range. At least I won't be doing keto at the moment. I don't know what will be in the future. But I'll be right back. So, sorry. Right before doing this hormone reset, and probably one of the reasons I decided to do this hormone reset is I read this Unlock Your Macrotype book by Christine Hornick. This is the same person who it's her detox, and did all the quizzes, read all the things, and got my macrotype. And I was not super happy about it, y'all, because it told me what I pretty much knew, and that's I'm a fat fueled. So basically this book is like, let's determine your carb sensitivities. How much carbs can you handle? Determine that. And then determine what macro type your body likes as its preferred fuel. And once you know those things, you know how to build your macros for your body, because high protein doesn't work for everybody. It works for most people, but it doesn't work for everybody. So I did it and I got the result of you should probably be keto, but if you don't want to be keto, here's a little more carbs, but it's still high fat, low carb, basically. All right, so I got fat fueled, low carb macrotype. That's what I got, which is keto. That's keto. I said to heck with that. No, thank you. I don't really want keto, okay? Because I've done it in the past. I found it very hard to stick to. So I'm gonna take one step up and go fat fueled macrotype, which for me is my macros that I'm working on at the moment, 55% fat. And then she has a breakdown of like, that I can't do. I can only do 5% in my Fitness Pal. So I'm doing 55% fat, 30% protein, and then 15% carbs. So it's still really low carb, it's still really high fat, but you have moderate protein. So still get that, able to build muscle with that kind of protein. But here's what I really want to say about that kind of macrotype. I think it'd be very easy to prioritize things like bacon and cheeses and all the things you hear on keto where it's like they're pouring heavy cream. And I mean, I've done this in the past, which is why I haven't wanted to do it now. I have a mind switch, so I might get into it here in a bit. But, really prioritizing just like how it affects your insulin, and that's all you care about. I'm not in that mindset anymore. And I think that's why I was never successful in the past. I do really, really well, and I felt really good on keto. until I'd have one piece of bread. And then it took me like a month to get back on track with keto, because I'd like have outrageous cravings just constantly. Like, it was fine until you broke. At one point, you're gonna eat a freaking carb, and then when you do that, it's like the floodgates open and it's so hard. So that's why I didn't really ever want to do keto again, which is why another reason I'm not going quite as low, because I think having nutrient dense foods are very important. And that's one of those things that often gets left out in keto, because people would rather eat butter and heavy cream than an apple. And I think that's silly. Now, I understand that apples have an effect on your insulin, but you cannot tell me that butter is going to give your body more nutrients than an apple. So it's like, I want to be smart with my carbs, but I also want to eat a very nutrient dense food. And, prioritizing things like nuts and avocado and coconut and healthier fats from earth. Yes, there will be some grass-fed butter, grass-fed because it's less inflammatory, and I suffer with inflammation. And then there'll be, things like, I'll have bacon from time to time. But I really want to focus on being able to get all those carbs from vegetables and fruits and things that are going to do my body good, give my body nutrients, and also focus on getting more of that protein. Now, as someone with keto, I really didn't focus on protein that much. It was more about make sure I get my fats, and then hopefully my proteins are up enough, that way my carbs are down. Or this time it's more of like really nutrient dense food, get my protein, and then fill in all that other stuff with fats, because I'm not eating carbs any other way right now. I'm not having rice or bread or any of that stuff. So if I have carbs, it's coming from fruit or from vegetables. So that's what I plan on doing coming into this next couple weeks. I plan on doing that the next couple weeks. Then I go to Mexico. I'm gonna enjoy Mexico. But when I say that, it's like I actually want to enjoy Mexico. So yes, there will be food that I might not have like while I'm here in my everyday life, but I'm not gonna go overboard because it makes me feel like crap and I want to enjoy Mexico. So yes, there will be some alcohol, but I'm not gonna be getting drunk, because who wants a hangover at Mexico? So it's gonna be really about just being smart with my choices and then coming back and getting right back to it. So moving forward, the whole point is to move forward. I'm going to be doing nutrient dense, high fat, low carb diet. And let's see what we can really do. Can we get this insulin regulated? Like, what happens in a year whenever I get my new triglycerides and all that panel back? Oh, and I did want to say, one of the doctors I've been watching, insulin isn't one of those things they normally test. So if you've had blood work recently, they're gonna let you know if you have diabetes. So that's the one I keep getting every year, because that's the one that they always test for. They care about the glucose levels. And if your glucose levels are normal, you don't have diabetes, and then you're fine. Basically, in the medical opinion's mind, that's what's fine. What they don't test is, just because your glucose is low doesn't mean your insulin isn't high. And for insulin resistance, your insulin's high, and that can last for years and even decades before the glucose actually gets up enough to say that you have type 2 diabetes. So you could have normal AC1 levels back, but be insulin resistant. So he said, if you got a lipid test recently, which I did, you divide your triglycerides by your good cholesterol, which is the HDL. Divide that number. Divide triglycerides by HDL. If that number is greater than 1.5, there's a likelihood you have insulin resistance. Mine was 3 point something. So double 1.5 is what mine was. So there's a reason why I'm doing this. My grandmother died in January from heart disease. If this isn't something I fix now, this leads to heart disease. Like, this is a big deal. And I didn't want to be the person on this channel like demonizing food. Like, I don't think bread is the devil. I think because of the unique situation my body's in, I can't handle it right now. My goal is to build my tolerance up and be able to have more carbs in the future, but I don't want it to lead to more insulin resistance. So I think most people find your total daily energy expenditure, subtract 200 to 500 from that, make sure 30% of it is from protein, you'll probably be fine. And you'll probably have good success losing weight. If you are not, really, really consider, do you have insulin resistance? Because it's an epidemic in America right now, especially with adults. So like, do you have a bunch of weight around your waist, your stomach that will not go away? Like, are you having problems with your blood pressure and you have that gut? There's a good chance that you have insulin resistance. And there's a good chance that that insulin resistance can lead to a lot of other horrible things in the future. So in this chapter moving forward, it's kind of one of those things, I don't remember who said it, but it's like food can be either the best medicine or the slowest poison. And I feel like for a really long time, I have chosen things that have slowly poisoned my body. Not poison like arsenic, you know, but things that are making me sick, like legitimately sick. And it doesn't make me feel good, and I want to feel good. So if just changing the way I eat can keep me from being on high blood pressure medication, taking even more insulin, even though I'm insulin resistant. I just went on a rant that I'm just going to edit completely out. And now I don't remember where I was. I should have written down notes, but my hands and forearms hurt so bad from working out yesterday. I guess I was holding really heavy. I don't know. Maybe it's the inflammation coming back. But I did an upper body workout yesterday, and my hands and forearms hurt so bad today. My biceps hurt too. But yeah, look, they're getting a little smaller. My arms. So anyway, yeah, so come back next week if you want to see like what this looks like in action. I'm making a enchilada soup for lunch. I just like soup for lunch. It's so easy to throw in the microwave and eat it like, you know, a minute after you're hungry. And I haven't exactly figured out, I have a couple options for breakfast, and then I'm going to be making like some hemp seed crusted chicken strips. And I'm also going to be making a like chicken and broccoli casserole that I'm very excited about to try. So if you want to see about those recipes and what it looks like going nutrient dense, high fat, low carb, stay tuned. I'll see you next time.